Welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we will tell you about the policy changes for green card and visa. So before starting, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. After you file your application, you will be scheduled for your biometrics appointment at the local application support center or consulate. USCIS having the general authority to require and collect biometrics from any applicant, petitioner sponsor, beneficiary or other individual residing in the United States for any immigration and naturalization benefit. The biometric you provide during your ASC appointment allows USCIS to confirm your identity and run required background and security checks. USCIS may consider the application abandoned and it may deny the case if you miss the biometrics appointment for any reason. If you need to change these appointments in the past, you have to do a paper filing for rescheduling, which often resulted in less success to get timely outcomes, especially during the pandemic when cases were severely backlogged, resulting in adverse effects on your immigration case. But now USCIS has announced an easy process. Rescheduling biometric services appointments by phone. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced today that applicants may now call the USCIS Contact Center in the following telephone number, 800-375-5283, to reschedule their biometric services appointment scheduled at the USCIS Application Support Center. Previously, applicants had to submit requests in writing to reschedule their biometrics appointments. This change helps eliminate undue paperwork and allows USCIS to track the request through a more efficient process. Applicants must establish good cause for rescheduling. They must call before their original scheduled time in order to request for a reschedule. If an applicant fails to call before the scheduled appointment or fails to establish good cause, USCIS may consider the petition abandoned and eventually denied the case. USCIS also suspended certain biometrics requirements for 24 months, starting May 17, 2021. USCIS will temporarily suspend the in-person biometrics requirement for HL&D derivative non-immigrants seeking extensions of stay and changes of status in the United States. The policy will remain in place through May 17, 2023 unless extended or revoked. During this time, applicants' spouses and children filing for I-539 for HL&D derivative status will not be required to attend a biometrics appointment for the capture of their fingerprints and photo. The suspension applies to applicants in the earlier mentioned classifications if their I-539 applications are pending on May 17, 2021, and they have not yet received a biometric appointment notice, or if their application is submitted electronically on or after May 17, 2021. However, USCIS reserving the right to require biometrics for these applicants on a case-by-case basis if it is deemed necessary. Applicants who receive biometrics notice before May 17 should make sure to attend their scheduled appointment. Let's get into the next topic of interview waivers. As per original USCIS policy, all adjustment of status applicants must be interviewed by an officer. The interview enables USCIS to verify important information about the applicant to determine eligibility for adjustment. For family-based applications, USCIS generally requires the Form I-130 petitioners to appear for the interview. Same holds true for adjustment of status applicant, for employment-based petition too. In addition, derivatives are also required to appear regardless of the filing category. During the interview, the officer verifies that the applicant understood the questions on the application and provides the applicant with an opportunity to revise any answers completed incorrectly or that have changed since filing the application. Any unanswered questions or incomplete answers on the application are resolved at the interview. If information is added or revised, the applicant should resign and date the application at the conclusion of the interview. With that being said, some long marriage-based applicants and employment category applicants are receiving interview waivers on case-by-case basis during the pandemic. If there are any missing or expired documents like medicals, USCIS is requesting them through RFP. The cases are getting adjudicated based on the RFP response with evidence. Some of them are even getting interviews over phone. This is not an official USCIS policy change, but trend immigration attorneys are noticing during COVID for cases filed for their own clients. On top of this, expansion of interview waiver eligibility is also applied at the U.S. consulates abroad. Department of Homeland Security has temporarily expanded the ability of consular officers to waive the in-person interview requirement for individuals applying for a non-immigrant visa in the same classification. This change will allow consular officers to continue processing certain non-immigrant visa applications while limiting the number of applicants who must appear at a consular section, thereby reducing the risk of COVID-19 transmission to other applicants and consular staff. This policy will remain effective until December 31, 2021. And applicants whose non-immigrant visa expired within 48 months will be eligible for an interview waiver. Travelers are encouraged to review the website of the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate for detailed information on what services are currently available, as well as eligibility information and instructions on applying for a visa without an interview. Let's get into the next topic of USCIS policy changes which reduces or eliminates denials. There are two USCIS policy which reduces or even eliminates case denials in certain scenario. The first one is USCIS reinstating deference to prior non-immigrant petition adjudications. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services has rescinded a 2017 Trump-era policy memo that prohibited USCIS officers from deferring to prior petition approvals even where there was no change in facts or indication of error. In simple words, if the case was approved earlier, they cannot deny it now. The policy reversal could reduce the number of petition-based RFPs denials and decreased processing times for the extension requests. Under the reinstated deference policy, which is effective immediately, officers are directed to generally defer to prior approvals and immigration benefit petitions involving the same parties. In fact, officers may not defer to a prior approval where there are material changes or where new material information is available that undermines eligibility, which includes publicly available information affecting eligibility for the benefit. The policy will also not apply if there was material error in the prior adjudication. In addition, the new guidance requires officers to obtain supervisory approval before deviating from a prior approval on the same facts, which means before rejecting an application, an officer should get supervisory approval if it was approved previously. This is a significant change from prior policy and practice. The second one is eliminating of blank space criteria. USCIS has reverted back to the rejection criteria that existed before October 2019. USCIS will no longer reject Form I-589, Form I-612 or Form I-918, if an applicant leaves a blank space. In the past, many applications are rejected citing this blank space policy. Let's get into the last topic. If you have got money to invest, you can get visa as per new USCIS rule. Sounds strange, right? Let's look into this in detail. The Biden administration announced Monday it would resurrect a program originally started by Obama administration that would allow more immigrant entrepreneurs to come to the United States and start their businesses. The Trump administration suspended the policy before it took effect. The International Entrepreneur Rule, first introduced by President Obama in 2017, permits foreign entrepreneurs to stay in the United States for up to 5 years as long as they own at least 10% of a startup, and attract at least $250,000 from U.S. investors. So that's it for today. What do you think of today's video? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video and would like to hear more from us, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notification bell before you go. Thanks for watching us.